What's up guys, welcome back to another Yu-Gi-Oh video. This will be a bit of a shorter video. I just got a couple of little mail items that I thought I'd show off, as well as a really cool BGS Express return from Feb that I just got back. So jumping right into the mail, we've got a Glossy Unlimited LOB Dark Magician. I picked this up on eBay on auction a couple of weeks back, and it came in really great condition. So I think I'll probably actually send this to PSA and hope for a PSA 10. Because I already have a BGS 9.5 of this that I just graded. So yeah, I always love picking up Glossy Unlimited cards. They're super hard to come by, and they just look incredible. Dark Magician is actually probably my favorite glossy print card in general. I just think the way the foil pops is incredible, and I actually prefer it to the SDY version. And then the other mail item I got, which is actually huge, is a Gaia the Dragon Champion first edition from LOB. This is glossy print as well, obviously. I've been trying to get a gem of this card for a super long time, and I remember I missed out on a really strong PSA 9 a few years back, which ended up crossing to a PSA 10 or regrading. And so ever since then I've always been thinking that that was my one chance and I'd never get a gem of Gaia. But this copy I just got in actually has a really good chance of it. Especially the centering is incredibly good for a Gaia, but also the surface and the corners are pretty much perfect. It's got a couple of tiny bits of edge whitening on the back, like really small on this right edge. But I think the edges can at least get a 9 from Beckett, and possibly even a 9.5 to be honest. I don't think there are any quads graded to date, so if this did get a quad 9.5, it would be the first ever copy to do so at Beckett. So yeah, that does it for the mail, and now we'll move on to the actual returns. So I sent 9 cards in this submission. 8 of them are from LOB, and then the final card is a Pokemon card. Jumping right in with the first one, we have a Swords of Revealing Light. This is wavy print. I'd probably say wavy swords is the hardest super to grade in the whole of LOB. You just never see it for sale, even as a 9 to be honest, but especially as a gem. So this one I bought as a PSA 9 from a friend of mine a little while back, and I didn't think, to be honest, that it was going to cross to a BGS 9.5, but I thought I'd give it a go anyway just in case. And it came back a quad plus 9, which is a pretty solid grade. So I'll be looking to upgrade this to a 9.5 at some point, but for now I'm happy to at least have a 9 as part of my set. And we got one more 9 on the next card, which is a Gaia the Fierce Knight. Again, this is wavy print with a little bit of a fade to it. So Swords is the hardest super to grade, and I would say Gaia the Fierce Knight is definitely the hardest ultra to grade from LOB in wavy print. The PSA 10 pop I believe is about 12 on this card, definitely in that region. BGS 9.5 I'm not sure, but I've only ever seen I think 2 to date. So I know it's going to be tough to upgrade this one to a 9.5, but I will be on the lookout, and definitely hit me up if you have any wavy guys in high grades for sale. The next card I was really happy to grade. I didn't think this would necessarily gem, but it just about got there with the 9.5 on centering. It's a Left Leg of the Forbidden One in glossy print. This is the hardest Exodia limb to grade. Lowest pop, I think both PSA and BGS. So this was a huge one to get out of the way, and this actually means that I have the complete glossy Exodia set, as well as the complete wavy Exodia set, so that's a really cool accomplishment for me. And another really sweet card from LOB, I finally managed to get my wavy Trihorn Dragon as a gem. So I've subbed this card to Beckett, I think 4 times now, and every other time I sent it, it got a 9 on centering, which I was always really confused about, because the centering on this card it's not perfect, but it's really good. Left to right is pretty much perfect, and top to bottom is just a tiny bit shifted. But this time it finally got the 9.5 on centering, and the reason it has a 9 on surface, it's actually a pack fresh card, but if you look you can see it's got just a little factory dimple in the cardstock right there. It's kind of hard to see because the waves sort of distort the card anyway, but yeah, it has that little imperfection, which is why it got the 9 surface. Apart from that, super clean card, and I'm very happy to have it as a gem. So this means I have a 9.5 of both the wavy and the glossy Trihorn Dragon, which again, really awesome part of my set to get out the way, and I'm actually not too far from getting the complete wavy and glossy gem set at this point. And the last few cards from this sub were all really epic. So we're going to start out with a quad 9.5 Gaia the Fierce Knight in glossy print. So I said the wavy Gaia is the hardest ultra to grade, but to be honest, even the glossy Gaia is really hard because both of them have pretty significant centering issues. This is definitely the best centered Gaia that I've ever owned. The condition is really good on it as well. So I did think it would definitely get a 9.5, and I was hoping for that quad, but very happy to see that we actually got it. Another awesome looking card with how the glossy foil just pops. And next up is an even bigger card from LOB. This is a Red Eyes Black Dragon in glossy print. I traded for this as a BGS 9 a while back. It had an 8.5 on centering and a 9 on surface. And I thought, even though it probably was a fair grade to go to 9, I'd give it one more go because the centering is kind of borderline. It could get an 8.5, especially with the way the back is shifted, but the 9.5 is also, the 9 on centering is also fair. And again with the surface, it's a pack fresh card. It has a couple of tiny little factory surface cardstock imperfections, but I thought I'd give it one more go, and we actually got the gem. So this is, again, really epic. I had a wavy 9.5 Red Eyes already, but I'm very happy to add the glossy one to the set as well. And the last two LOB cards are actually both the same card. So we're starting off with a wavy Dark Magician. This is another one where it's kind of been to Beckett multiple times. Every other time I sent it, it got an 8.5 on centering and then the 3 9.5s. It's a really clean card. It's got that slight fade as well, which really adds to the aesthetics. The centering is definitely shifted, especially left to right, but even top to bottom a little bit. So I could understand the 8.5 on centering, but I did think it had a chance for the 9 as well, and with how big a difference it makes to the value of the card, it was just worth sending again and again until it finally got that 9. So I'm very happy to have this one as a gem as well. And the next card is the best card of all in the sub. It's a glossy Dark Magician. It came back with a quad plus 9.5, that 10 on corners. So this is actually the one of the joint highest graded Dark Magicians ever by BGS. There are 3 quad plus 9.5s and never any copies graded above that. So there's no quad plus 9.5s and no pristines. I bought this as a PSA 9 at the start of the year, and I just thought it was ridiculously clean for a 9. I mean, the centering is ever so slightly shifted top to bottom, but really not enough to knock it below a PSA 10 as far as I'm concerned. And the back as well, just phenomenally clean. I honestly thought with the right grader, this could probably have pulled a pristine with the 9.5 centering and then 3 10s. But even as a quad plus, I'm extremely happy with this. It's the first time I've ever graded a big 3 card above a basic 9.5, so huge achievement for me. And last but not least, we have the Typhlosion 17 that I sent in this sub. So I'm not really much of a Pokemon guy in general, but this card has a pretty big kind of, amount of hype around it. And I saw this pop up on eBay a few months back for $900, and I thought, why not? I'll give it a go, see if we can get like a 9 or a 9.5. The card has one pretty big print line running across the foil, which honestly I think even all the PSA 10s out there do have at least one line. Aside from that, this is a really, really nice copy. I thought it would probably get a 9 because the centering is slightly shifted and it has that one print line. It actually got the 9.5 on centering as well as edges and corners. But sadly they gave the surface an 8.5, which I guess they're just extra strict on this card because it has such a reputation around it. But even as a 9, it was pretty cool to have the experience of buying this card and grading it. And this is for sale if anyone's interested. Feel free to just hit me up on Instagram and I'll get back to you. Alright, and that brings us to the end of this video. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you did, please do leave a like and subscribe to the channel. I have some more content planned for the near future, including another BGS return that I just got the grades back for the other day, but I haven't had the cards shipped back to me yet. And if you have any suggestions for future content or other things that you'd like to see, just put it down in the comments below and I'll always do my best to get back to everybody. And yeah, with that said, this is Schlost signing out, and I hope you all have a great day.